Welcome new and old friends. My name is 242, and today 2 got us 5 Glitch in the Matrix stories. But not just normal Glitch in the Matrix stories. They're all stories where something appears or disappears, otherwise called DOP or Disappearing Object Phenomenon. So, turn off your lights, make sure your doors and windows are locked. Things are about to get spooky. I live on a farm and always thought it was funny how when a goat screams it sounds like a person. It's a lot less funny when you have 50 of them crowding around your house, all screaming your name. Junk Drawer Purse Glitch by eyebrowswhere. I have this kind of purse that is very much like a junk drawer. Need a screwdriver? It's in my purse. Gum? Purse. Pencils? Purse. The original 2004 Shrek 2 DVD? Purse. Last week I was cleaning out my purse and came across a broken pair of aviator glasses with only one lens. Specifically, the left lens was missing. I don't remember ever owning this pair of sunglasses, but figured maybe my mom or someone riding in my car may have dropped them in my purse or something. I want to make it clear that these are not my sunglasses. I would never even buy aviator sunglasses because they're not right for my face shape. I have no idea where they came from. I grabbed them and was about to throw them out, but when I picked them up, I paused for a minute. And for some reason, the thought occurred to me that I should save them because I could need them at some point. This is an odd thought for me to have because I'm not a hoarder and I don't normally keep broken items. So, for whatever reason, I decided to keep them and go about my business. Fast forward to Saturday night, I show up to a party at my brother's apartment, and a lot of his frat male friends from college are there. I've only met 1 or 2 of these people, maybe a handful of times. So the night goes on, everyone's drinking, smoking, having a good time. Eventually I end up standing around a table doing shots with my brother and some of his aforementioned frat boys. One of them yells over to the guy standing next to me. He says, "Hey Tommy, Snapchat just reminded me that this was 4 years ago today. I can't believe it." He turns his phone towards me and Tommy, and it's a picture of a few of the people in the room, including Tommy. It's a picture from a party they had apparently had in freshman year of college. In this picture, everyone's sitting on a couch and Tommy is laying across everyone's lap. I look closer and see that Tommy is wearing a pair of broken aviator sunglasses with the left lens missing. What the fuck? After seeing this, I say to everyone at the table, "You guys aren't going to fucking believe this." I then proceed to reach into my bag and pull out the broken aviator sunglasses and wordlessly hand them to Tommy. He is confused to say the least. The table erupts into a cacophony of ohs and what the fuck and oh shits. I am bombarded with questions. Where did I get these sunglasses? Why are they in my purse? Are they the same sunglasses from the picture? I have no answers to these questions. They decide to recreate the picture and Tommy ends up keeping the sunglasses as a memento. I'm sure as hell have no use for them. We look at the pictures, and they appear to be the exact same color and the exact same shape as the original ones, so how did this happen? I have no idea. Why were the party glasses randomly bestowed upon me? Who knows? Just felt like sharing this mind fuck of a story. As I opened the door to my winter cabin, I knew something was off. The handle was warm. Screwdriver Disappears and Reappears by Eris Queen 16. I have been dying to post a story since it happened, but I had to wait to hit the karma requirement. I'm super excited to hear people's opinion on this. So, for context, at the time that the story occurred, I lived in a dorm at my college. I had one roommate and our door was always kept locked. On my desk, I had a jewelry holder that had a tray separated to 6 or so compartments. I kept a bunch of random stuff in it, but the object in question is a miniature screwdriver meant to tighten/loosen the screws that secure a bracelet I wear. I rarely use this screwdriver. The bracelet is a pain in the ass to take off, but the tray was positioned by my bed in a way that the screwdriver was in the direct line of vision when I laid on my head on my side. I had direct eye contact with it every night. One day I was getting ready to go to dinner with my roommate, but I noticed that the screw on my bracelet was starting to come loose. I went to grab my little screwdriver to tighten it, only to see it wasn't in its spot. This weirded me out because I had remembered seeing it the night before, but I figured I must have shuffled the tray or something. In hindsight, this really wouldn't have been possible because the tray was separated by sections. I looked through the tray and it was nowhere to be found. I started getting kind of freaked out because I hate losing things, and there was no way that I had moved it since I last saw it. At this point, I asked my roommate to help me look because I figured I was blind or something. She couldn't find it either. We then dumped the tray onto the floor and shuffled through everything just in case both of us had somehow missed it. I looked 3 to 4 times through the pile. I felt defeated and put the stuff back into the tray. I was standing by the tray, took one last look, and didn't see it. And my roommate walked out of the room first. I followed behind her and she locked the door. In other words, she had the only other copy of our room key in her possession. I wore my key on a different bracelet, so I knew I had mine on me too. A couple hours later, we returned to the room. She unlocked the door and I walked over to my jewelry tray again. And lo and behold, the screwdriver is sitting in the exact spot it has always been, tucked in a little corner like I hadn't dumped the tray onto the ground a few hours earlier. I picked it up and my roommate and I both started freaking out. We had both checked multiple times and there was absolutely zero chance we had just missed it. It has been a few years since this happened and I still think about it. When I see my old roommate, we still talk about it. I just don't understand how it disappeared and reappeared in the same spot that it had been in. Further, no one, including my roommate, even knew about this screwdriver because it had no purpose except for tightening the screws on this specific bracelet I would wear. Sorry that this post was so long. I wanted to be as detailed as possible. My family decided to throw me into an active volcano after discovering that I was immortal, and I spent the next millennia in constant agony while trying to escape. I eventually reached the tip of the volcano, only to discover that I now lay at the bottom of an ocean, and would have to crawl along until I finally reached dry land. Claw clip randomly spawns in by playboyvans. Every time there's a post on the sub, I tend to rationalize it as much as I can because some things are explainable. However, the other night, I was freaked out. For background info, I have a clear backpack because of gun threats in my area. So this is how our school takes precaution. There's a claw clip I wear everywhere. It's my favorite one, and I always put it in 4 places if I'm not wearing it. My purse, my front backpack pocket, my nightstand, or my downstairs bathroom. The other day after school, Friday, I took it off and put it in the front pocket of my backpack. And I know this for a fact because I had taken a picture of my claw clip and sent it to my boyfriend and mentioned how one of the pieces had broken. I came home that Friday and, like usual, it was only me. Fast forward to Saturday morning, I was getting ready to go to work and I couldn't find it for the life of me. It had basically disappeared. I checked my backpack and emptied it completely out to where nothing was in it and couldn't find my clip. Left it and just decided I'd look for it later, maybe didn't leave it where I thought I did. Came back home that night after work again, and it was only me that had been going in and out of the house in probably 2 days since my mom and brother are both away. I got ready for bed, got a quick snack, and used my phone's flashlight to guide me. As I exited my kitchen through my dining room, my phone shines off something. I go to look at it, and there it is, my claw clip. And it's the only thing sitting in my backpack. Again, my backpack is clear and small, so it's hard to miss. I would have noticed it, especially in broad daylight. Needless to say, I was freaking out because I had checked thoroughly and it wasn't there. Then it was. I even asked my mom or brother if they had came home and didn't tell me, even checked the house cameras. Nobody had been in the house besides me. Super weird. Disclaimer. I understand a claw clip going missing isn't a huge deal, but it's the fact that I completely ransacked my backpack and saw nothing was in it, and then it magically appears. Nobody had placed it there, and I never saw it there when I checked. Day 27? I thought this island was deserted, but I've been tracking a particular set of footprints for the past couple of days, hoping to find the source or some food. Day 32? If you find this journal, please get back to your boat or plane and save yourself, because they're not friendly, and they are definitely not human. Cup materializes in a different room, by Colin-on-Reddit. I hadn't heard of the term glitch or read any user stories when this occurred, but since then have listened to and read lots on YouTube and Reddit, so decided to share my own. This was so simple and mundane, but proves that these glitches are real and believe anyone who says they have experienced them. This was around the springtime of 2019, and made a note of it. I sat in the living room on a Friday evening watching TV. My then teenage daughters had just gone to bed, as had my partner, who asked if I would bring a cup of tea up in the adverts or when the TV program finished, and I also retired. I went to the kitchen, boiled the kettle, made a cup of tea, then came back into the living room and put the cup of tea on the table next to me, intending to take it up to her after I watched the current bit of the program. At some point, I must have dozed off into a fairly light sleep, as sometimes happens on a Friday evening after a week of work. Suddenly I was woken by a loud thud noise. I jolted awake and opened my eyes. In front of me, about 2 meters away and slightly off center of the middle of the room, was a cup. It was an empty cup, not one of the regular cups we have, but my partner's specially slightly larger cup she sometimes uses for different types of tea. It was bone dry, no liquid in it. The other cup of tea I had made was still next to me, with the tea, now slightly cooler, still in it. I had not brought this other cup into the living room and put it onto anything such as the sofa, where it could have fallen off and make the noise. So basically this cup, which was kept in a cabinet in the kitchen next door, had jumped or materialized from the kitchen cupboard to this room and fallen to the floor, waking me up. From the noise of the thud, I gathered it had fallen from at least a handheld height, as if someone had carried it and let go of it. And no, it was impossible for my partner or the kids to have done this to play a prank, because the room door was shut and it would be impossible to do this because of the layout of the room. Also, I checked shortly afterwards and they were all in bed, asleep. I took stock for a moment and deliberately took notes of where I sat and where the cup was and the other things in the room, so I would not be confused and would remember how things were laid out in the room. Then I got up, put the cup back in the cupboard in the kitchen, made a fresh cup of tea, and went to bed. Nothing like this has happened before or since. I do not know what or if it actually meant anything in terms of the universe. IG assigned to take the cup of tea up to my partner instead of watching the TV, or if it was just a glitch in how the universe works. Even though it's so simple, just an object jumping from one room to another, I am thankful to the universe in a way for letting me experience a true, verifiable glitch. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that I was not awake to see how the cup actually appeared when it did. I've always thought that there was more to the universe/existence than we think, and always believed in the supernatural, although never had any explanation or proof for it. I think what people term as the supernatural could in fact be examples of or related to glitches like this that we notice. We know what is true nature and mean of reality is, but these glitches suggest that there is more to it than we understand. A group of scientists had recently discovered a piece of technology to see what the deceased see after death. After what they saw, they quickly began working on finding a way to become immortal. Intense DOP in my house for years, by Oates. The first case was the most impactful. My wife and I had a black velvet box which contained her mother's $10,000 wedding ring, identical wedding band, and a jade ring I had bought her on vacation. This box had a very special place and it was never put anywhere else. It sat inside of the back corner of our nightstand for a very long time. We always made it a point to put it back there. We don't own anything more valuable. One day we went to see it. Not there. We turned this house upside down searching. Many tearful hours of frustration and sadness and anger, and nothing brought it back. Fast forward to the middle of last year. She has another black velvet bag with an 18-karat gold opal ring that I had custom made for her. There was a pink opal engagement ring. This is well after we had accepted her mother's engagement ring was gone. And a few others. It was packed in a little travel bag because we were taking a trip to Texas for a few days. We got back from our trip and unpacked. Haven't thought about the jewelry. A few days later, she can't find them, so we start searching. Praying it's not like last time. We cannot find the velvet bag anywhere. She goes through the travel bag literally 5 times, checking all compartments, literally turning the bag inside out, and we lost hope of ever seeing them again. Fast forward to this previous week. We were taking an overnight trip out of town and stayed in a little house. While we are at the house, we find a strange pendant necklace with a copper-wrapped moon-shaped stone and a black point crystal. We take it home with us. The night we get home, I set our vape pen down on the couch side table and it falls off the table. I'm on my way to grab something and just plan to grab the pen when I get back. I do my thing, and when I get back, it's gone. I watched it fall between my house slippers, and it was not near or around them at all. We have this reoccurring angst when something disappears because of how much we have suffered from it. When we are looking, SO goes to look in our travel bag. She pulls the clothes out to see the fucking velvet bag. It is sitting right beside our new necklace. Needless to say, she literally fell to the ground and started sobbing. I was fucking yee-hawing. We have put all of her jewelry in a wood box that we have put protective intentions into. Sadly, the black velvet box was still gone. But we are so happy to have some of her special jewelry back. I have 3 staple rings I always wear. A frog, a moon, and a ring with 2 naked people kissing. The kissing people is my wedding ring. I went to bed wearing it, and I woke up without it. I'm blown away, obviously searching everywhere, and to no avail. The last one happened in the past 12 hours and makes 0 sense. I have 2 $10 bills, 1 $5, and 3 $1 in my new wallet I purchased on our day trip. Last night, SO flipped through my new wallet and counted this cash. I keep a little cash always. I always use my card and reserve cash for places that possibly don't take card. This wallet has either been in my pocket or bedside table. I have not used cash. My day was home, work, home. I saw a single on the door of my car and decided to put it in with my cash. The only cash in my wallet was the 3 $1 bills. I don't know what to make of this. We are both sure we didn't use or take the cash out. But the idea that something is taking random jewelry and petty cash from my wallet is terrifying. We are both intensely confused. I yelled out to whatever could possibly be doing this to us and said, "Give us our shit back." I don't know what to do. I guess we just want to relate to others. I know people have DOP with objects, but I never heard of anything taking cash. I had hidden into my daughter's room and stood in horror as I saw her bed empty and her window open. That moron was supposed to take her and kill her when my ex-husband had her. And with that, we're near the end of this video. I'd like to thank the users who let me read their stories as always. Thank you guys so much. Now if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you're new, subscribe and turn that pretty little bell to all notifications. If you'd like to help this channel or podcast, share it with anyone who might enjoy it. If you'd like to help in other ways, I do have a Patreon where for as little as $1, you get early access to the audio of these videos. And for a little bit more, you get some extras. I also have merch and PayPal. Now the last thing, and something I truly look forward to seeing, is a comment. But let me get you that Sunday word first. On screen right now and on Twitter is everyone who wrote me a comment last week. Thank you guys, and I'm so happy you all enjoyed that video. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. Now, don't panic, because, well, that's this week's word, panic. If you're on YouTube, just write me a comment using this word and you'll be in next week's video. If you're on the podcast, you can go to Twitter, making sure you @242reads. Use this word and you'll be in next week's video/photo. But as always guys, thank you for watching and listening. It really means the world to me. Sleep tight and don't let 42 bite.